It's extremely sad, but we're doomed by our nature to fight wars all the time. Either those wars inside our soul, inside our brain, or in the outside world. When you're talking that diplomacy, what diplomacy? Look at this G7. An enormous amount of ass-licking assholes, and only one actually person with brains, with charisma, with power, and that's Donald Trump, who, look at the way he looks at all those guys. They're nothing. They're a bunch of ass-licking idiots.
I mean,
Those six, yes, there are serious people, like, representative of India. Yeah, there are decent people. Saudi Arabia. But look at those guys. So-called Europeans and Stame. Who are they? Whom do they represent? They have zero right to speak, to raise the voice saying that, we've been elected by... We've discussed it many times. The level of popularity in their own countries is nothing. And they dare to say, hey, you Russia, you should do this, you should do that, and by the way, we're gonna fight you. Look, military-industrial complex of Europe nowadays is working for Ukraine. Who's paying Ukraine military? Europe. Who is ruling, who is governing Ukraine? Zelensky? Come on, definitely not. But all those motherfuckers, all six of them, besides Trump is in another league, they're all on Zelensky payroll, may I say.
Doamne și domnilor, continuă prelegerea noastră cu domnul Soloviov, da? Vladimir Soloviov, democratul cu rus, care chiar se contrazice și se luptă cu jurnalistul care era tupeist, așa, cum de a ajuns democrația și președintele european să facă astfel de lucruri.
Democracy. In what European country can elect their own government? We can. We voted for Putin. He is our president.
Deci fiți atenți cum jurnalistul îi
but this is a caricature of Western government. Of course, these governments are elected.
Fight me.
I mean, they will be elected out of their offices.
Tell me.
Sure.
Directly, who has been elected?
Yeah, you will see.
Sure. Who has been elected directly? Prime Minister of what country? President of what country has been elected directly?
Come on, this is the constitutional system of this system.
Constitution of what country?
Come on.
Germany. You don't have constitution in Germany. You're not German, so it's not you. Germany. They don't have constitution. Let me remind you, it has been written by Americans, and they still do not have their constitution. What country?
Okay. My point here is...
Tell me, what country?
You are a highly intelligent guy.
Yeah, that's
of
why.
Course. No, of course.
Fight with me. Tell me.
Tell
me your point of view. You're not in a position for us to present your point of view. You're not fucking judges. You're not superior.
I agree.
You're just basically no one that built their fortune on Russian affordable natural resources, that lie to us on every single turn of our history. You are the people that brought to us yet another war. You are the people that were always willing to get whatever they can get from Russia for nothing. That suddenly consider themselves to be, we are Europeans, we are superior. In what case? We've always beaten your fucking asses. Why at certain moment of history you decided that you can judge us? That, Russia is not democratic enough. Russia cannot be part of NATO because their standards of understanding freedom is... You've been occupied territory since 1945 by American and British troops. Suddenly decided that you have a voice of your own? With your political structures being raised up by George Soros and others? With people so corrupted that almost every single leader of France spent some time in prison? German leaders that fighting one each other? Ursula von der Leyen, been well known as one of the worst human creatures in terms of stealing money of European taxpayers. Oh, of course, you cannot go into this because that's COVID story. Yeah, that's the story that Europe is not willing to discuss. We have to present our position to you. You're the one who lied to us since 2014 during Minsk agreements. And now, when we're getting truth from Angela Merkel and others saying, yes, we're lying to Russians because we wanted Ukrainians to get back. You're the one that spread NATO to our borders in spite of the fact that you promised Russian government and Soviet government before there will be no one even single step made toward east. And you something telling us? You that could not even find the terrorists that destroyed pipelines, the Nord, whatever. Nord Stream. You not even close to the understanding of what diplomacy is about. That's why we cannot even consider you be part of this game. You basically took advantage of the stupidity of last years of Soviet government, when we were so madly in love with Americans and you, and we thought that, yes, right, we will open ourselves, and you will bring us the light of this knowledge of democracy. And you lied to us. Every single democracy.
Corect. Foarte bine, dar îmi place emisiunea asta, aș fi vrut să o aflăm, dar vedeți că niciodată la tembelizoare cu care mințim poporul, se minte poporul, că eu nu mint la televizor, din contră, eu, Emil Gingașu, vă spun pe adevăr și minciună pe toate canalele de socializare, adevărul, scos din minciunile lor din televizor. Deci ne mint pe față televiziunile, da, pentru bani și show. Vă dați seama că ar fi în stare sistemul acesta corupt nu, că sunt comuniștii la greu, dar comuniștii europeni la greu, dacă ar fi în stare să vină să ia fiecare cetățean din România asta și să-l bage la pușcărie pentru libera exprimare. Deci vă dați seama în ce hal trăim. Doamne și domnilor, eu sunt Emil Gingașu, punem stop și urmează altă filmare. Doamne ajută, numai bine! Prea adevărat, să nu filmăm. Urmărim împreună pe adevăr și minciună. Vă mulțumesc, doamne și domnilor, vă urez audiție plăcută.
2022, Germany started with, let's send the medical help. And look what's happening now. German Panzer. You started, well, we don't want to be part of this war, and look what's happening now. Whatever Ukrainians have to fight with is supplied by European factories. You, funny enough, call them Ukrainian, but they're not Ukrainian. Storm Shadow, as well as many other missiles, they are of either British or other foreign origin. And you help Ukrainians to target them, you lead them, you working for them as a source of intelligence, and you stated it. So you're part of this war. In this case, you're an enemy, and you have to be destroyed. And if we have to destroy you as an enemy, we don't want to fight a conventional war. We'll have to use whatever we have. It's not me and my point of view. It's just the law of war. Or you think that you can kill our girls, you can kill our civilians, and it will be just okay? And after this you can sleep nicely in your houses thinking, well, it's never come back to us. Are you serious? History hasn't give you a lesson? Or you seriously believe that we'll fight the same war as we're fighting against Ukraine? Have you ever heard this expression, unprovoked crucial war against Ukraine? All the time, right? Can you tell me the ratio between civilian and military casualties in this war? You know?
Tell me.
And what do you think?
Listen to you.
Approximately. Just approximately.
The International Red Cross has told on several occasions that in the war in Ukraine, the number of civilians killed is much lower than in any other war in the 20th century.
In this case, how come this war became the most crucial? Maybe that means that there is something you do not understand.
No, that means that on all sides in a war there is propaganda. Of course there is propaganda in
propaganda.
Europe. There is also propaganda in Russia.
No. We are not saying anything. You are claiming that Russia is fighting awful, blah, 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 cruel war. But you haven't used the same words when Israelis were killing Palestinians. You haven't used the same words when Americans and Israelis were killing Lebanese and Iranians. Never. Why is that? Maybe there is something about this war that you do not understand. If we, after very powerful attack against Ukraine, where we destroyed a lot of military facilities, and there's only one person killed, and of course every single human life is sacred, but we don't know how he was killed. Was he killed by anti-missile rocket or by direct Russian? And the night before, 2 nights before, more than 20 Russian girls were killed by single Ukrainian strike done by European weapon, thanks to Alex Karp and his Palantir, and thanks to Elon Musk, because Starlink was found on this place. So who is fighting war against civilians? But the West said, no, we don't know it. We don't know, we don't believe it. Russians, how could you? If we would like to wipe off the whole Ukraine, we could do it in no time. But we're not hate them. We consider them to be our brothers, part of us. That's why we fight this war. It started back in 2022.
Mulțumesc pentru un like, un share, un comentariu pe Adevăr Minciună, pe TikTok, pe Instagram, pe toate canalele de socializare unde mă vedeți cu Emi Gingașu. Mulțumesc pentru share, nu iau niciun ban de pe niciun canal de socializare, de pe TikTok, YouTube, nimic de felul acesta, doar doresc să demonstrez și să spun și eu adevărul mai departe. Adevărul, cum spune și Biblia, ne va face liberi, dar spunând adevărul mai departe, vom reuși să ne liberăm de noi înșine. Toate cele bune, abonații mei, la revedere!